Welcome back. Today we start and finish the third playthrough. This one will be to just mop up some of the titles. And before we proceed, I'm going to make sure I do not have this come up as an accident or anything. We'll be getting rid of the battle abilities, ignoring break arts, and we will do a sub 10 hour run. While I am not going to actually use break arts, I am still going to grind to obtain them. Nothing's changed. I punched out a dragon this time. So now I'm going to go and show why I'm not actually going to also do a no magic run. Because I forgot something. So yes, with Marlene's ring and several more strength points, can go melee much later into the game. And I can't remember if I showed that off, that if you killed him off, he would get disrupted. Or his friends would be angry. But this is why I am not going to do a no magic run, because I forgot to actually get the to max out some of the spells, so going to do a stave, beef up the magic as much as possible, just to ruin these guys' day. Yeah, there's no kill like overkill. So I need to max out Explosion, Thunderburst, Radial Strike, and at this point I also decide I may as well get the single target spells that I have to get from drops. So I mean, even though staves are weak, the fact that I've got a lot of strength behind me means that that doesn't matter. Just gonna have a whirlwind tour of what I destroyed. Again, the ring and multiple strength ups just ruin people's day. Also note that I'm not even bothering with Heracles or anything. Sydney will be kind enough to provide some Prostasia just to put that, drive that home. Then I am going to destroy them. Well, I usually go after him. I decided to actually go after the Crusader. Kill him first, see if we get any interesting comments from the father. Yeah. Keep it up. You'll get there someday, Sydney. Yeah, you too. A for effort. Anyway, the next run that I'm going to be doing is the no save and no magic run. I usually don't like doing the no magic run at the same time as no saving, just because there's some enemies that have instant death, and I'd much rather not deal with that, but hey, it's risk. May as well do that, may as well show the game over screen if it comes to that. yeah, good luck with that. And as you can see, poison is a pretty nasty effect. And it's quite quick. Still stepping out with my pimp cane, as you can see. I curse you, Thinner. I never get tired of seeing that guy almost always trap on that trap. So finally got another break art. Like I said, as long as I don't use it, it's perfectly fine to level them up. Honestly, I mean, that's something that you can probably do on your first playthrough because, I mean, they are handy, but they are incredibly situational. You have to know what you're up against, what affinity they're weak to, where they're weak to it. You have to be willing to sacrifice a bit of hit points to do it. And yeah, and then you might still miss anyway, since you don't have too much accuracy at the point. We're about the point where I can't just use the stick around to be productive, so it'll be retired shortly. Kind of remind me now that Hardin goes and says, like, oh yeah, this guy's as strong as a Titan. He literally is now. Yeah, like 3 or 4 more playthroughs if I were to actually try and aim for hit points, be maxed out and have as much health as Ashura did. This is just to show that the crossbow still sucks. And it does damage, but if you think about it, it doesn't do much more damage than the staves, and it 2 or 3 risk a pop depending on the bow. It just is not worth it. But I need to grind it up for Break Arts 2, so may as well do a little bit of this right now. So got rid of the crossbow after fighting the dark elemental that I cut out. Now going on with the polearm. Remember, even though this guy is allegedly a boss, he's just as strong as any other lich, which means not at all. 110 hit points. Also remember, this guy has really high chain evade. Remember that I'm not doing any chain attacks. Just gonna stab him in the groin. For once, I'll actually fight Tiger rather than Nisa. Even with the generate, it's not doing that, stopping me from destroying him too hard. And it's done. This fight, however, is worth keeping. Just because it's so weird. Of course, like always, or almost always, he tosses on his regain. Then it's very hard to explain. I really have to wonder if there's some sort of combat scripting or something involved, because that's all he has done and will ever do. He shows that he's ready to attack, but he doesn't do a thing. I really have to wonder if every 40 or some hit points he goes through a different combat cycle or something, and since he's gone into a new section of his script, it has to recalculate or something, because yeah, he doesn't do anything. Like how the final boss kind of goes through like some phases to do Blood Sin. Like the first playthrough, he had two times to attack, so it's like at a certain hit point threshold he is ready to execute it, and then after that he goes away from it. Yeah, Ogre Lord completely choked. I really have to see why. Like, just experiment, go with like 20 hit point, see if I can actually get as low as 20 hit points on some weapon. Unfortunately, you can't target yourself with debuffs. Also, as you can see, agility is far more important than you know, hit points really are. And my loss in hit points is basically just me stepping on traps and not really caring that I've taken damage. And actually, traps are the most damage that I get out of anything at all in any playthrough after the second one. In this playthrough and any other, since they scale with hit points to some extent. And it goes through about 80 hit points a pop. Or I think maybe something did 30 damage to me this playthrough. Anyway, at this point, I was just over about 2 hours, maybe to the 3-hour mark. So I decided to start farming. There's two basic choices that you can go for the single target spells. Either go around through the catacombs, or fight the Phantom Eyes in the Undercity. Just wanted to get out of the way, so I went after ghosts, because I fucking hate ghosts. So the Withered Spring by the first workshop, that ghost drops this spell. And this one's a little bit more complicated. This is in the Sanctum, and there's two instances of this ghost. The first ghost, when you first enter the Sanctum, it's a different ghost that does not drop that spell. So you have to go into this room, fight the lock trap, then come back out, and then return, and then this ghost with Aqua Blast will spawn. And this, as you remember, is one of the treasure side rooms in the catacombs, right after the first, like, mini-boss ghosts you fight. Gives you Fireball. And the final one on this roundup is another side room, the one right after the time trap that didn't proc in the first game, but normally is there. So that is all the magic that I need. And like I said, that does more damage than anything could possibly hope to do right now. I guess unless I try to fight Ashura again, but I'm not going to do it this run, obviously, and not the second run, or the next run. The run after that I might, since I just want to try and see if I can craft some dread armor just to make dread armor. So here goes about 3 more hours of farming, just fighting things with miscellaneous weapons just to get the break arts up. Now, I didn't do any sort of extensive time studies or anything. I just went with the thought that I can kill about 20 to 30 enemies between the Black Market of Wines and that other save point after the Dullahan fight. Just go through one, kill everything between you and that save point, teleport back, reset the enemies, and repeat. And it's about a 5-minute trudge. About an hour you'd clean out break art, so not a bad idea. But since at this point it was getting up to about the 8-hour mark and I just wanted to be done with it, I gave up, went through. I can get the Great Sword break arts and the polearm break arts. Anyway, got a bunch of strength from Elixirs of Kings and things like that. I did end up going into the first floor of the Iron Maiden just to accumulate some stuff. And as you can see, that crab just gets completely wrecked. And next thing, since there's stat reel for strength +3 and that strength plus whatever and plus whatever again, yeah, things will not live. Now before I got into this, I did save just because I wanted to make sure I didn't get that weird glitch where I didn't get Grimoire Radius and I didn't have to farm for it again, so I didn't need to because I got my Grimoire Radius. And with this I have all the magic. And that guy could not possibly live. I'm pretty sure it did more than the damage cap. And this fat ass. I really hate him. Yeah, stroke your beard. Stroke this. Oh wait, don't stroke this yet. Stroke this. Didn't feel like chasing him around, so just electrocuted him. Anyway, now, as you can see, basically aside from the Great Sword, got 500 of each thing. And you can see Phantom and Dragon, and just, you do not get enough of those. You can kind of grind Dragon by going through some of the city walls back and forth, and if you also want to grind for points, that's what you do. But Phantoms are just so few and far between. I've never wanted to, and I probably never will, grind to killing 5,000 of each enemy. Just a bad idea, a bad time all around. And it took three playthroughs to use each weapon 500-ish times. And that was with taking multiple attacks to kill an enemy at times. So now things get one-shotted. It's going to take for bloody ever to do that. So it is a pure masochist's goal to do that. Pretty sure it doesn't even gate you from getting the ultimate title like Grandmaster Breaker, which is 50 million points, or is it 50? Whatever millions of points. It's gated behind, I think, 100% map and treasure and the break art or 30 chain ability thing, but all the other stuff I don't think it is. And for once I was actually able to get a couple of hits in on him before he ran away. His mistake. Anyway, join me next time. If you are following along and you aren't feeling confident about being able to deal with that room leading to either the Storm Dragon or the room afterwards, make sure you have a crossbow or at the very least a polearm. Thank you for watching. See you again.